this video, I'm going to show several different ways to play the C minor chord on the guitar. And if you're a beginner, I'm going to start out very basic and we'll get more and more advanced as we go. Let's begin. So here is a very easy way to play the C minor chord if you're a beginner. Just put your first finger on the 8th fret across the high E string, the B string, and the G string. You put your finger flat, and what you can do is use your other fingers to help put pressure and help push it down so all the notes ring out like this. And my finger is not as straight as the frets, it's kind of at an angle like this. Also, the tip of my finger is touching the D string so that that doesn't ring out. So it'll sound like that in case I accidentally play it. This is also a great practice so that you can eventually do bar chords where you put your first finger across all 6 strings like that. So it's a great start right here. So you could play the chord using 3 fingers, but then it won't give you that practice, so I recommend using your first finger. To make sure that the low E string and A string don't ring out, I put my palm down like this, so I'm not playing in the air like that. I rest my palm here and play like this. Once you get good at that, you can add another note. So now we're doing the same thing, but we're going to add our 3rd finger, or you can use your pinky, on the 10th fret of the D string. So it's like this. So I'm using my 2nd finger to kind of support the first finger. My fingers are at kind of an angle. My pinky is out of the way, because otherwise I could muffle one of these strings. Or you can use your pinky. Here's another way to play the C minor chord. Put your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the G string, 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the B string, and 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So all together. Here's another way to play the C minor chord. Put your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the D string, and then your pinky goes as close as possible on the 5th fret of the G string, so these 2 fingers are squeezing together and they're helping each other. And that's one of the reasons I like this way of playing the chord. Then put your 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the B string, and your 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So all together. So that I don't accidentally play the low E string, sometimes I'll put my thumb up here to kind of muffle that. And also, whenever possible, I'll use my palm right here to mute the A string and the low E string, so I can play like this. Now here's a more difficult way to play the C minor chord, but it's important to learn how to play it this way so you can do some really big strumming with your right hand. So this is called a C minor bar chord, and it's because you put your first finger on the 3rd fret across the first 5 strings of the guitar, and your finger's straight and it looks like a bar. And the goal is to not only play this note on the A string, but the 3rd fret on the high E string as well. So then you add your fingers here, just like in the chord we just did, and then your first finger is over here. So all together. So your finger is not perfectly flat and straight. You can kind of roll it a little bit this way so that you're using this part of the finger. Also, the tip of my first finger is muffling the low E string, and that's how I'm able to strum using my arm. So I just bring my finger up there. here's a way to play the C minor chord using all 6 strings. I really have to squeeze to make this chord work. I'm squeezing my thumb and first finger together like this. So really the goal is to have it play all 6 strings. And then add your 3rd finger and your pinky here on the 10th fret of the A string and the D string, like this. Put it all together. So that's a C minor bar chord. And if you're having a hard time with bar chords, I have another video where I teach a simple exercise that you do every day, and before you know it, you'll be able to play almost any bar chord. I'll put the link in the description. Please check it out. I'm also pulling the guitar, pulling the neck toward me with my bicep, and I'm also pushing over here with this arm. So here's my hands away, and then I'll play the chord. Another thing you can do is play a C power chord, and this may work in some songs. This is how you do it. So you put your first finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then your 3rd and 4th fingers go on the 5th fret of the D string and G string, like this. You could also play it like this. So same thing, but now you put your first finger on the 8th fret of the low E string, and then your 3rd and 4th finger goes on the 10th fret of the A string and the D string. So all together. If you'd like to watch more of my videos, just search Guitarincrease. My name is Brett, and I thank you so much for watching.